on the grind. It's game time. Light shine. All eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Hardy live, feeling prime. From the bench to the field, we climb. Champion rise, this our time. No fear, no limits, we prime. Bring the heat, watch it shine. This leg is wrong, we on grind. It's game time. Light shine, all eyes on the line. Every move, every play, we define. Heart be loud, feel the prime. From the bench to the field, we climb.
You're watching Indiana High School basketball on the ISC Sports Network, and tonight it's a girls and boys basketball doubleheader between Sheridan and Clinton Prairie, both out of the Hoosier Heartland Conference. Tonight's game presented by Dan Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. Healthy communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. Mulberry Telecommunications, your local hometown fiber provider. The Frankfort Eagles, Post 976, people helping people. And the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. Alongside the former DePaul head coach Bill Fenlon, my name is Rick Johnson. Welcome in, everybody, to girls basketball here on the ISC Sports Network between Sheridan and Clinton Prairie as these two teams lock up tonight. Sheridan comes in with an overall record of 3-3, and Coach Clinton Prairie is still looking for their first win at 0-6. It's only the first week of December, but it feels like a big conference matchup here tonight for both teams.
Well, Clinton Prairie has 9 freshmen on their roster, so they are trying to figure out a lot of things right now, and I think their goal tonight is just to make a little progress.
What's it like trying to coach so many youthful players? Obviously, it's a different landscape in the college world now, but have you ever had anywhere close to 9 freshmen on a team at once?
Well, yeah, but I didn't have to play any of them, right? So that's the big difference. If you got to play them, then there's a lot of pain involved in all of that. But I think it's also part of the fun of developing young players. And in talking to Coach the other day, he had a great attitude about it, and he's just trying to take it one practice at a time. And he feels really good about the future of these kids. But in the meantime, they got to go to battle tonight.
Yeah, we're joining our pregame show here by Dan Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. First look tonight presented by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. And when we talked with Cale Morris, coach, earlier this week, he mentioned they're getting behind, they're getting these slow starts, and he wants them to get going faster in these games because he said once we kind of get our bearings about us, we're playing either right there with the teams, even step for step, or even playing better than our opponents, whether it's the second through the fourth quarter. It's just those starts that are putting them so far behind.
Well, that's one of the things about youth, right? They're the speed of the game, and it's a new adventure every night. So you can they figure it out over the course of the game, and then they come back in the next game, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like that again. And it takes them a little while to get going, and eventually, once you've done it enough, it's like anything else. You get a little comfort level, you get a little experience, and you're going to be able to have some faster starts.
On the other side for Sheridan, 3-3 under the direction of 8th-year head coach Jadalyn Bradshaw. The Sheridan grad has led them to back-to-back years of 20-plus wins and both sectional and regional championships. A year ago, they lost in the semi-state semifinal to Rensselaer Central. But, Coach, they lost their leading scorer last year in Kenzie Garner, who's now at Ferris State. Their second leading scorer in Cecilia Timmy, and a key bench piece in Shell Beaton. So the Sheridan Blackhawks dealing with a lot of youth on their side as well.
Well, yes, but, there's a saying in basketball, and that's tradition doesn't graduate, right? And so when you've been in a winning program and you've got a culture established, it's a little easier to plug and play with the pieces. Even though you lose some good players, there's an expectation in the group that you're going to have success, and I think that's really helpful for the players, and it's really helpful for the coaches, and that's why there's some optimism in terms of what they're going to be able to continue to do.
Sheridan won this matchup last year 58-18. They won back-to-back games and 3 out of the last 4 against the Gophers. CP looking for their first win here of the new season tonight as they take on the Blackhawks. We've got the keys to the game, the starting lineups, and the officials, and the opening tip-off next here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the Knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Tonight's starting lineups are presented to you by Ardente Dental. Healthy smiles start here. And first, the starters for the visiting Sheridan Blackhawks under the direction of their alumnus Jadalyn Bradshaw. Number 10, Sadie Timmy, a junior. She averages 10.5 points per game and 7 rebounds. Tegan Horney is a freshman. She averages just about 2 points and 3 rebounds per ball game as well. Another freshman, Lucy Marcus, wears number 12, 3 points, 3 rebounds per outing. Mackenzie Terry, a 5'9 senior front court player, almost 5 points, 4 rebounds for Mackenzie. And Brielle Garner, who's their leading scorer on the year at 11 points, and makes about 3 threes per ball game for Sheridan. On the other side for Clinton Prairie, you're going to see a lot of youth here. Lily Coleman is their starting senior guard. She's the only senior on the roster this year for the Gophers. And then it's 3 freshmen in Emma Grant, Emmy Kaser, and Clara Coleman. And the sophomore is Alexis Perez for the Gophers. They bring a lot of that youth, and you're going to see a lot of freshmen and sophomores tonight here, Coach.
And you never know what you're going to get, right? So that's what Clinton Prairie is trying to figure out. What are we going to get from these kids tonight and tomorrow and next week? And those things, they just unveil themselves over time, right? You just have to have enough patience to allow these kids to develop. And I thought, talking to Coach the other night, he's got a great attitude about it. He's pushing them, but he gets it. He gets the fact that you got to have a little bit of patience while you're doing it.
Cale Morris, like his counterpart tonight, Jadalyn Bradshaw, a graduate of Clinton Prairie High School. Sheridan head coach Jadalyn Bradshaw, the former Jadalyn Delpha during her time as a national champion at Marion, played at Sheridan. Cale Morris, the second all-time leading scorer for the Gophers. Tonight's officials are sponsored by Wampler's Disposal, Service, and Recycling, Bob Storm, Stephen Helder, and Terry Baker. As we are underway here from Clinton Prairie with Sheridan winning the opening tip. Coach, let's get into your keys to victory tonight, presented by Tier 1 Meat Company, where every cut is elite and every customer is family.
Well, I think, and there you go. Speaking of transition, there's a steal and a layup, and those buckets count. So you want to be great in transition, defensively and offensively. Try to find some easy baskets and don't give up any easy baskets. And then finishing possessions. Be great on the defensive boards. Limit them to one and done. And the extra possession battle is a big stat for me, and that's a combination of turnover differential and offensive rebounding differential. And it's how many extra chances do you get at the basket, because, Rick, that's the deal. Put the biscuit in the basket. And you want to limit your opponent's opportunities, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Offensive rebound, Mackenzie Terry, held ball by the scrappy Emma Grant, and when we had our game here on ISE against Rossville a couple of weeks ago, Grant was taking charge as coach. He was diving on the floor for loose balls, and Cale Morris couldn't say enough good things about his young freshman.
She's an Energizer bunny for them, and he's trying to get her to continue to figure out how to use her powers for good instead of evil.
Ball poked away there by Sadie Timmy. One change to the Sheridan starting lineup. Tegan Horney not starting. Olivia Long, freshman, starting here tonight for Sheridan. Full court press here for the Blackhawks as Kaser, who scored the opening basket, trying to deal it in, and that clock dwindling away, throws it away right into the hands of Mackenzie Terry. Cannot get the bounce as it goes out of bounds. That ball thrown into no man's land.
Yeah, handling the pressure is, you're playing against a young team. It makes some sense to come out and get after them right from the start, and that's what Sheridan has decided to do.
Long, a dump off to Timmy. In the corner, a three ball from Garner is right down the hatch. Garner averaging about 3 made threes per ball game, converting at a 30% clip. First half court set of the night here for the Gophers. Power drive, Coleman from the mid-range. Lily Coleman cannot find it off the pass from her younger sister. Timmy up the floor, waits for reinforcements and Marcus. We've seen Clinton Prairie play a lot of zone defense early on this year. They're going to an aggressive man-to-man here tonight, pressing out near midcourt. Garner throws it away. Foot race in the backcourt. There's Grant. Got her hands on it, trying to save it from the end line. Does. And some more tightrope work there on the far side there for CP. Perez at the controls, the lone starting sophomore for the Gophers. Kaser trying to turn the corner on Garner. Spun into a double team on the block. Kick out to an Alexis Perez three. That was long, and Garner went soaring in and was able to deflect it off her defender and keep it here with the Gophers.
Pretty good play right there. Got it into the lane, under control on 2 feet, finds the open shooter at the three-point line, and that's exactly the kind of solid play that they're looking for out of these young Clinton Prairie players.
Grant baseline drive. Garner pokes it out of play. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Frankfort Eagles Post 976, serving our community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, the Frankfort Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. Long first half-court possession here for Clinton Prairie. Kaser drives in strong. Had too much on the runner. Saved on the baseline by Coleman. Deflected all the way out. And Kaser finds the loose change. Perez between the circles. C. Coleman thought about attacking. And now Grant attacks, goes through 3 defenders. Couldn't snake it in. But an aggressive drive once again for Grant results in 2 free throws. Foul on Brielle Garner, her first, team's first. Tonight's game is brought to you by Dan Genda Funeral Home with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Dan Genda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dangenda.com. Dan Genda Funeral Homes, where we put family first.
Emma Grant knocking down that second one.
Ties our ball game at 3.
It kind of looks like a man, but I think it's really a 3-2 drop back zone, Rick, where the middle person is playing all the way to the top of the key and all the way to the blocks. If we get an extended possession, we'll get a better look at it.
Kaser to L. Coleman as Perez tries to operate things here for Clinton Prairie. Kaser got the steal on the first possession and had the fast break layup. Since then, Clinton Prairie has struggled in their brief moments here against the Sheridan half-court defense. Perez had C. Coleman cutting through the paint. Now to L. Coleman. Kaser can really shoot the 3 ball. Tried to bank it home and was unsuccessful.
One and done for Clinton Prairie.
And that goes back to your earlier point of the extra possessions, whether you get from turnovers.
Yep, finishing that defensive possession.
Marcus couldn't get the layup to go as 2 players tumble. That was Lily Coleman and Terry. Held ball on the possession arrow, holding it here with Sheridan.
So an extra possession for Sheridan right there as well.
2 new Gophers in, Madison German Potter, number 5, a sophomore, and number 44, Kenley Cummins, a 5'8 freshman, who Coach Morris had her best day of practice this season on Wednesday, and she promptly gets a quick one-and-done defensive rebound. It was an e-learning day yesterday for Clinton Prairie High School as Perez drives in and is able to give the Gophers the lead. But because of that e-learning day and the road conditions yesterday, Coach, no practice yesterday for the Gophers getting ready for tonight.
Yeah, practice is overrated.
I'm sure when your players said that back.
I'm not really from the Allen Iverson school of practice, but some people are. I also think that the day before a game practice is always a little bit different. And it really is. I've found that it really isn't a great indicator of how you're going to play. I've had some horrible day before the game practices and had teams play great and vice versa. So you can see the kind of the rover in the middle of the floor is Alexis Perez, and she is just kind of following the basketball. The other 4 players are in a zone.
And does that roving ability kind of help her go get that defensive rebound there? Because she is the one that –
It should. She's a bigger player, and so she's got some length, and she can cover out to the top of the key. But her job is to basically stay between the ball and the basket. So if you drew a line between the basketball and the basket, she's supposed to be on that line the whole time.
30-second timeout here for Sheridan. We'll keep it here. Healthy Communities of Clinton County offers free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor, delivery, safe sleep, car seat, and newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information. Does that zone defense that Clinton Prairie is running tonight, Coach, does that help with such a young team maybe kind of help get defensive principles compared to maybe running a man-to-man?
It's something a little different that the other teams don't see very much. So if you can get good at it, it might be, a little bit of a signature thing that you can work in there. We'll see what kind of adjustments Sheridan make to it. But you can see the 3 across in the front and Perez in the middle just kind of mirroring the basketball.
Horny fumbled the ball right into the arms of Cummins and then gets called for the reach-in foul. So doubly bad there for Sheridan with less than 3 to go here in the first. And CP in front by 2.
But Sheridan still pushed up all the way, trying to put pressure on those young Gopher ball handlers.
German Potter was pivoting all over the place, able to try to play keep away as Perez has her dribble poked away, picked up by Marcus. Doesn't have the numbers against Clinton Prairie, throws it up, it bounces off the rim. The foul here against Clinton Prairie, against Madison German Potter, her first. Fouls on the floor. Make it the 3rd here on CP. Actually, just the 2nd, excuse me. With Clara Coleman and Emma Grant checking back in here for the Gophers. Lone basket tonight for Sheridan is a 3-pointer by Brielle Garner. Timmy bluffs the 3, pulls up from just outside the lane, off the heel. Garner has the miss, and she'll dribble away from pressure. She'll spot for her second 3 of the night, short. And the rebound for Emma Grant, tied up with the taller Timmy. But Emma Grant has got no fear going for any 50-50 ball.
A lot of time on the floor for her. But again, that's a possession for Sheridan where they have 2 cracks at it. Possibly a 3rd, except if they don't get the ball on the alternating possession, and there's another turnover.
Terry drives, deals off to Marcus, and a pushing foul here against Clinton Prairie. Their fourth here in the opening quarter with 2 and change left. Second one on German Potter. As Emmy Kaser back in here for the Gophers to replace MGP.
Well, Coach Morris has been running them in and out already here in the first quarter. A lot of kids seeing action.
Timmy, shot contested, and a defensive rebound by Cummins, her second one since coming off the bench. Grant wanted to step into a 3, collapsed upon by Horny. Kaser from the free throw line, a kick out here to Cummins, and she traveled. We mentioned Sheridan graduating their top 2 scorers from a year ago, a key bench piece, and a lot of leadership and production on the way to their 25-2 record last year, including a 23-game winning streak before the season came to a close in the semi-state semifinal. Horny has her pass deflected. Marcus able to gather it in. Going for the steal was Kaser. Garner looking for help. Finding it in the corner is Horny. Tiptoes the baseline. Timmy had it poked away. There goes Grant diving on the floor for it. And they'll say that Grant made contact with the ball when her shoulder, or make it Kaser, was diving on the floor when she was on the sideline, as Lily Coleman re-enters here for the Gophers, replacing Cummins. So Olivia Long back in as well here for Sheridan. Garner still with the only points here so far tonight for the Blackhawks. That 3 early on here for Sheridan. Horny, pass intercepted. Perez looking for help as she weaves through the defense. Kaser threw it into space. Able to track it down was Lily Coleman. Less than a minute to play here in the first. Perez puts on the deck and draws a reach-in foul. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Clinton Prairie can hold for the final possession if they like.
Always the kiss of death, Rick.
I'm holding my breath here as Perez bumped. And a pushing foul called against Mara Fawcett, who just came in here for the Blackhawks. And that's number 4 on Sheridan. Fawcett applauded by Coach Bradshaw for her hustle play and being an extremely hard worker here in her debut freshman season. Elle Coleman down the lane, dribbled into a double team. Perez from straight away, and she traveled with it. Another turnover here for Clinton Prairie. Back-to-back possessions, coach, then with turnovers.
Yeah, you can't have empty possessions. You've got to get shots up, and they might have turned down a shot or two. You know, just get the ball up on the rim and give yourself a chance.
Nice find and an easy put up there from Fawcett off the feed from Garner. Just a couple of seconds left here in the second.
It wasn't exactly a fast break, but it was difficult for Clinton Prairie to get back and figure out, you know, who's guarding who. And the first thing you got to do is protect the basket, and nobody was there to stop that layup.
So Fawcett ties our game at 5 after one quarter play. You're watching high school basketball here on the ISC Sports Network.
Davis Comfort Solutions.
At Davis Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling, the name says it all. Davis Comfort Solutions will keep you comfortable all season long with 2 locations, Fowler and Colfax. They service most of central Indiana.
We've got the air necessities, great service and efficiencies, bringing peace and comfort to your life.
DavisComfortSolutions.com.
Whether you dine in or carry out, the South Fork restaurant is known for daily lunch and dinner specials, world-famous hand-battered tenderloins, fresh, never-frozen whole catfish, and award-winning onion rings. The kitchen is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come join us at 105 South Glick Street in Mulberry or visit southforkpub.com for the latest menu options. The South Fork Restaurant, a proud supporter of Clinton Prairie Athletics.
5-5 after one. Vera Fawcett, who tied it up right before the end of the quarter, will deal it in here for Sheridan at the top of the screen. She had a 5-rebound, 4-steal performance at the win last Tuesday for Sheridan against Western Boone. As the Blackhawks come in 3-3 on the year, Clinton Prairie in search of their first win. They are 0-6 as they go back to that zone defense once again. Olivia Long from the wing down to Fawcett. Deals off to Timmy. Turns and is able to throw it off the hip of Kenley Cummins. Nice job there by the junior Sadie Timmy. Garner against Kaser. Timmy picked off a pass that might have been going towards Olivia Long. Long has it taken away by the scrappy Emma Grant, who was fighting with her back to the ball there, and Grant has got an energy level that is second to none.
If it's on the floor, Emma Grant looks like she's going to be the one to go get it. She's not hesitating. You know, a lot of players try to do the calculation, right? Is it worth the energy that I'm going to have to expend to go get it? And when you do that, you're hesitating, and you're usually going to get beat to it. She is not hesitating to go after the basketball.
Stop and pop three. Emmy Kaser can't dial it in from distance. Tapped around and rebounded by Timmy. Out and running come the Blackhawks. Garner thought about it, then backs it out. Timmy, free throw line extended, partially blocked, and picked up by Claire Coleman. Claire looking for help and finds it in the form of Emmy Kaser. Kaser drives, throws it up off the top of the window. And she'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
I think that's a really good aggressive take. They're not really back. You have an angle. Go to the rim. Try to get some contact and get yourself to the free throw line. I think the last 2 possessions for Clinton Prairie, you know, get the ball up on the rim, give it a chance. You got an angle. Let's go ahead and drive that lane line and see if you can make something happen there, and she turns it into points.
Kaser had 12 points in the loss to Lebanon on Tuesday, a 14-point setback for the Gophers. That game was 26-11 at halftime in favor of Lebanon. Kaser led the way for the Gophers earlier this week with 12 points. She was coming off of back-to-back 20-point performance. There's a lane violation called against Lily Coleman. But you know you have an outside shooter in Kaser that can get going whenever she can. It's got to be a big benefit to CP.
Well, and when she's on the free throw line, you don't want to violate the lane.
Right.
Right. So, you know, scoring points is hard enough when you got a young team like that. You just can't give them away.
Fawcett loses the handle. She tried to throw it to the sideline, wanted Marcus, and it ends up in the cheerleaders. Alexis Perez will give Kaser a breather. Cummins looking for help. Perez dribbled and slipped out of her hands and into the midst of Timmy. A 2-on-3. Timmy pops from the free throw line, out and in. And Grant able to pick it up off the window. Grant wants to go wall to wall, goes up.
It. Same thing that we talked about 2 possessions ago. You got an angle, go ahead and make a physical drive. You're gonna get some calls that way, and when you get to the free throw line, nobody guards you, right? So you got as good a chance as you're ever going to have to score the basketball.
Foul on Fawcett, her second. And Grant a little bit long on her 3rd free throw attempt of the night. Mackenzie Terry enters here for Sheridan. Grant was 6 of 10 against Rossville from the free throw line a couple of games ago.
Well, that was a good aggressive drive by Grant, and she's showed us already in this young game here that everything she does is going to be aggressive.
Yeah, Coach Morris is telling us he wanted her to kind of trying to find a way to focus it a little bit. It looks like she's been focusing it pretty well tonight.
Yeah. It's about gaining extra possessions, and she's a player that's going to go get the basketball. That's what it's all about, man. You got to go get it when you don't have it, and you got to take care of it when you do. And that's what you got to help young players figure out.
Lucy Marcus with a tough shot over 2 defenders, levels us up at 7. German Potter to the front court. Floater doesn't drop from Clara Coleman. And here comes Garner, shot out of a cannon the other way, trying to go wall to wall, and she does.
Transition bucket.
Quick 4-0 burst here for the Blackhawks. 5 points now for Garner. Perez getting that high middle screen from L. Coleman. Kaser from the corner. Rainbows in her first 3 of the night.
We've seen a lot of dribble handoffs from both teams, but that's really the first ball screen we've seen set, and pretty effective for the Gophers.
Garner answers with a 3 of her own, her second one tonight.
That was a good two steps beyond the three-point line. That one had some distance on it.
Last year was second on the team in threes made with 49 of them at a 35% clip. Clara Coleman and a moving screen for a charge called here against Clinton Prairie.
Well, we talked about ball screens the last possession. She's setting a ball screen in the middle of the floor. I didn't quite see what she did wrong there. She looked pretty set to me, but hey, what do I know?
I think a little bit. You're familiar with the rules of basketball.
Yeah, I only won about 600 games. What do I know?
Clara Coleman whistled for the foul there. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we take pride in delivering locally sourced premium beef and pork, the kind of meat that honors the land, respects the craft, and fuels families with real flavor. From custom processing to mission-ready catering, we bring the firepower to elevate every meal and every moment. Founded by veterans, every cut is elite, and every customer is family. Step into Tier 1 at 128 West Catherine Street in Flora, or visit us online at tier1meatco.com. Still on the inbound there for Lucy Marcus, and a timeout here for Clinton Prairie.
Just a little stretch where they're just a little bit. They lost their concentration against the press, and then they feed the Sheridan Fire a little bit and give them some easy buckets off the turnovers, and that'll kill you.
So Marcus gets the steal and the layup right there. 30-second stoppage here for Clinton Prairie as Sheridan has outscored Clinton Prairie 11-5 here so far in this second stanza. Mulberry Telecommunications offers high-speed fiber optic internet, streaming TV, and telephone solutions. We're a local telecommunications cooperative that has been serving Clinton and Tippecanoe County for over 120 years. Now that we've moved to expand our services into Carroll County, we're excited to join your neighborhood and welcome you to our fiberhood. Learn more at www.mintel.net or call 765-296-2885. So 30-second stoppage here for CP. An 11-3 run here for Sheridan after falling behind 7-5. Backcourt pressure making life difficult here for the Gophers, and a nice tip away there by Timmy with her back to the inbounder. Marcus trying to make it 4 in a row for her, could not. As Kaser hustles out of bounds, couldn't save it, and it sticks here with Sheridan.
You can tell that Clinton Prairie's having some trouble when they can't get it in right away. They don't have a second thing that they're gonna go to. They're just not comfortable with what's next, and that's getting them into a little bit of trouble against the pressure right now.
Timmy in the middle of that zone, kick out to Long, floater, baseline, rolls out, tapped around, and then Terry gets tackled, but able to deflect it out to Garner, who fires a 3. It's off the rim, but hit the basket support and went over the backboard to boot, and it'll go back to Clinton Prairie on the missed 3. Just 2 players back here for Clinton Prairie is still having trouble getting in. They get it to Grant. Now she's got an angle up the floor. Grant stopped by Marcus. Wraps a pass around to Coleman. Kaser claps, gets, fires, and has 3 more points.
That's her spot. She's found it over there in that left corner.
That slows down the Sheridan run. Second three ball for Kaser. She's got a team-high 9 points. And the Sheridan lead is just 3. Timmy on the free throw line. Back out to Garner. Can't answer this time with a triple try, and Perez has the miss. Grant, stop and pop for a 3. Couldn't bank it in, and a loose ball foul called against Lily Coleman.
Well, Lily made it a little easy for the official. She had both hands, not just one, but both hands in her back right there while the ball bounced off the rim. But I don't hate that shot. I just think if you're open, let it fly, right? Get it up on the rim, and then, try to go get it. Lily that time tried to go through her instead of around her to go get that rebound.
Stolen by Kaser. Then her pocket picked by Garner out of play. Second time we've seen Kaser able to read a pass up near the timeline and get a steal.
Well, she had another player running with her. Probably could have given that one up, and maybe they get a layup out of that. But it's got to be some communication out there between those two.
Kaser, the top outside hitter this year for the Clinton Prairie volleyball team, a 6 rotation player, and led the team in kills this year for the Gophers during the fall. In some trouble here, goes to the far side of the floor and Cummins. Tries to bully ball through Terry, throws it up, dances off. Grant got the rebound away to 2 defenders, then her shot was rejected by Marcus, and Grant a little bit too aggressive there on the defensive end.
Well, that's one of the things that Coach Morris was talking to us about. She tried to draw the foul, didn't get the call, and then doesn't get the rebound. And fouling 95 feet from the basket is probably not the answer right there. You've got to channel that aggressiveness a little bit better than that.
Nice pass inside to Mackenzie Terry. In a case like Grant, you'd rather have to try to turn down someone's aggressiveness than turn it up, right?
Absolutely. Because she's done, that probably wasn't her best play, but she's gotten them 4 or 5 extra possessions with the hustle already tonight.
3-point shot is keeping Clinton Prairie within striking distance. Madison German Potter with her first basket tonight. Timmy throws it off of Grant, went off of her knee. And they're going to grant Sheridan the timeout right before a 5-second violation was called, or the turnover would have been granted. So they threw it right into the knee. Grant kind of bounced right up into her waist.
Pretty close. Maybe that timeout got called from the sideline. I'm not sure.
Full timeout for Sheridan. Wapplers is a place where recycling makes sense. Please call Wapplers at 659-3721 for all your trash, recycling, and scrap needs. Wapplers Disposal Service and Recycling, family owned since 1948. For a long stretch of the second quarter, Coach, it's been Sheridan in front, but the 3-point shot has really been helpful to Clinton Prairie, keeping them within striking distance.
Well, I think Clinton Prairie is trying to get the ball up on the rim. They've taken a little bit better care of it here the last couple of minutes, and that's going to allow, you just can't turn it over and worse, turn it over where it leads to layup. So they had that stretch early in the quarter where they gave up a couple of layups against the press, and since then they've handled it a little bit better, and that gives you a chance at least to stay in the basketball game. They just have to handle the basketball better against the full court pressure.
We mentioned 9 freshmen on the Clinton Prairie roster. Press at the middle school level, much different than the varsity level. And they're learning that here through these first now 6+ games.
Well, the players know a little bit more about what they're trying to do. You've got a bunch of players that are playing in a pretty established program for Sheridan, and they're going to come after you. And you've got to be able to be strong with the basketball, be decisive, come and meet passes against pressure, just lots of things that kids aren't used to doing. And when you have to think about that stuff each time you do it, it's going to slow you down.
Timmy just misses from in front and gets called for a foul 90 or 80+ feet away from the basket. Number 3 on Sheridan with less than 2 to go here before recess. As Kelsey Hagan, the freshman, makes her first appearance here tonight for Sheridan, they go back to that full court press that's given CP fits. Grant able to box her defender out. Now she's racing to the other end through 2 defenders. Gets the roll and an and one opportunity for Emma Grant.
If nobody's going to stop you, Emma, you got to get all the way to the rim. And that's exactly what she did on that possession. And great finish. Chance at an and one right here. You know, where Clinton Prairie's having trouble against the presses, they've got 2 players that are screening for each other in the backcourt, and Sheridan is switching that screen, and they just haven't figured out exactly what they want to do with it. That time they were able to inbound it to Grant. She went right by her defender. Nobody else picked her up, gets all the way to the rim.
Ball deflected out of bounds off the missed free throw, as Kelsey Hagan exited and then returns quickly in here for Timmy. 109 seconds left before intermission. Cutting is Grant, poked away, couldn't find it, then did, and they're able to work it out to Kaser. And a timeout here taken by the Gophers right before, might have been picked up by Sheridan heading the other way. Clinton Prairie playing with a lot more gusto here in the last couple of moments.
Yeah, they are. They're, you know, and it comes with not turning it over.
Yeah.
You know, beyond the fact that you're generating offense for the other team, it just takes the wind out of your sails when you turn the basketball over. And they've done a better job the second half of this second quarter of giving themselves a chance to get the ball up on the rim and score it a little bit.
We mentioned both of these head coaches, Coach Bradshaw at Sheridan, Coach Morris at Clinton Prairie, working with younger players in bigger roles, a lot more on the Clinton Prairie side. But, Bill, in your time is obviously 30 years coaching DePaul, what's it like trying to bring young players along, particularly if you need them to play a big role for you?
Well, if they're good, it's pretty good.
It's easy, right?
You know, if they're not, then it's a little bit tougher. I just think that's you know, nice little inbound rub screen there for a bucket. I think that's the deal for any teacher, right? You're trying to help somebody learn something, and everybody's process is going to be a little bit different, and their timetable is going to be a little bit different too. That's why you have to have a little patience. And here is Clinton Prairie turning the tables on Sheridan and turning them over a couple times for some buckets.
Clara Coleman had the first. That's a fast break layup for Emmy Kaser. She's our first double-figure scorer with 11. It's a 9-0 run here for CP as they almost get another steal. Garner trying to slow it down, and she hits a triple. Third one for Brielle here in the first half. And a timely one there for Sheridan. Perez defended by Hagan. Picks up the bounce, looking for help. Long pass, able to get it to Kaser. Drives, got an angle on her defender, didn't get it, but there's Grant crashing the glass and a tie-up. Possession arrow sending it back to Sheridan, but Grant with a great crash from the weak side.
You know, some players stand flat-footed and some players go get it, right? And she came a long way to get her hands on that basketball. She's an Energizer bunny, that kid. She is going after every single one.
And a whistle from one of our 3 officials on the far side as the game clock is running. And now they stop it. Never good when they've blown play dead and the clock continues to run, right?
And then there's always arguments about how much time is on it.
Marcus to the rim and puts it in, and Sheridan back in front. So after his 9 unanswered for Clinton Prairie, 5 straight here for the Blackhawks. 10 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Perez spins, floater, too much. Tapped her own miss over to Cummins with a couple of seconds left, thrown into the paint. Knifing in was Coleman. She couldn't get it. And that is the end of our opening half. Back in fourth play in this Hoosier Heartland Conference matchup. It's Sheridan with a 1-point lead at the break here over Clinton Prairie as we're watching Indiana Girls High School basketball on the ISC Sports Network. We're back with our halftime show next.
I brought you a present. A book. Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable!
Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die.
Inconceivable!
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable!
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Frankfurt Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfurt, Indiana.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Day & Ginda Funeral Home, proudly putting family first, strives to care and honor the families of Clinton and Carroll County in ways that share the loved one's story. In our effort to serve your family at the highest of quality, we have added our own crematories, one for your loved one and another crematory for your furry family members. Contact us for information on how we can serve your family. Day & Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
Halftime from Clinton Prairie High School. The Gophers down by 1, 23-22. Here to Sheridan at the break. First half thoughts are presented by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. Rick Johnston, Bill Fenlon here with you. Bill, both teams got a little more offensive footing after both teams scored just 5 points there in the first quarter. What'd you like from both teams' offenses there in the second?
Well, I thought that when the Gophers handled the press and got through the first line of the press, it actually helped them offensively. They got to the rim a little bit, got fouled a little bit in transition, and that worked for them. But the problem was when they weren't doing that, they were turning it over and they were feeding Sheridan a little bit from an offensive standpoint. So, that's going to be a big key. And, we're basically, dead even here with 16 minutes to go, and that's going to be a key in the second half. They've got to handle the pressure, right? And Sheridan's got to take a little bit better care of the basketball on the offensive end so they can generate some shots.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about there are a couple times where it felt like when Sheridan was up, 12-10, 16-10, and forced that Clinton Prairie timeout. Then they started turning it over on consecutive possessions where they probably could have built that to a 10-point lead there midway or towards the end of the second quarter, but the turnovers cost them.
Yeah, I think they've had a little bit of trouble against this zone trying to figure out exactly what they're doing, and I think, on the other side of that, Clinton Prairie's trying to figure out what they're doing too. So sometimes they're knifing into gaps, getting steals and be able to create some things, and sometimes they're knifing and not getting steals and taking themselves out of position and giving up layups. So, it's all about decision making. Every single time the ball moves, every player on the floor has got to make choices, right? And when you have a bunch of inexperienced kids, those choices aren't always going to be the right ones, and that's when you see turnovers and bad shots and those kinds of things. So a little bit of a war of attrition between these two teams right now, and we'll see who can shore things up and just take a little bit better care of it in the second half.
1 point advantage right now for Sheridan as they edged Clinton Prairie 18-7 there in the second stanza. We're back with more next here on the ISC Sports Network.
In this town, game day starts long before kickoff. It's the work behind the scenes that makes champions. At Tier 1 Meat Company, we prep with the same focus, discipline, and pride as the hometown heroes we feed. From our block to your block, fuel every victory. Tier 1 Meat Company. Mission, feed the fans. Standard, champion quality. Scan the QR code for a game day upgrade.
We've all heard the question, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? Honestly, we're not sure either. But what we do know is that if it falls in your yard, it usually leaves behind an unsightly stump that you'll be stuck mowing around. At JXN Stump Solutions, we'll get rid of that stump for good, and here's the best part. We offer free estimates, so you'll know the cost before the work begins. We deliver quality work from a professional, locally owned company with a commitment to leaving your property cleaner, safer, and stump-free. Contact us today at 242-9523. At JXN Stump Solutions, we're rooted in service and driven to remove.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
First half highlights presented by Mulberry Telecommunications, the best gig in town. Let's go look at the top plays here from the first half, coach. And from the opening tip, it was a steal from Emmy Kaser and a good way to start for Clinton Prairie, 2-0 out of the chute.
Well, Kaser had a really good first half and probably is the reason offensively why Clinton Prairie is right there in this ball game.
Garner with her first of what would be 3 first half threes. She was the leading scorer in the first half for Sheridan with 11 as she matched Kaser's output. Perez on the attack there for her only basket of the opening half. And then right before the end of the quarter, Garner bolted into Fawcett, who laid it in to beat the horn.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I think a little bit of a miscommunication in who's playing where in the zone. And that the drives have been a little bit of a difficult thing for Clinton Prairie to handle as well.
Garner showing off her speed with a driving layup. Again, she was in double figures in that first half. And there's the first of what would be a couple of threes in a row for Emmy Kaser. But Garner, who had the knack of answering the threes of her own, got it right back there to put Sheridan back in front.
I felt like the Gophers had a little bit of success with the ball screen stuff. They should probably go back to that a little bit. We'll see if they do in the second half.
Kick out to that second, but many threes in a row for Kaser. Again, she had 11 in the first here for Clinton Prairie. Cutting down the paint was Mackenzie Terry for her only 2 of the half.
That was a great pass, great finish.
Off the bench for Madison German Potter for a 3-point try as Clinton Prairie able to make 3 of their 6 threes in the first half.
And there's the Energizer Bunny going coast to coast, finishing and drawing the foul. Good little wrinkle on the out-of-bounds play. Good find by the inbounder.
And then another steal, and they find the 6th rotation player from volleyball, Emmy Kaser, and she outruns everyone to the other end. And then these are the second, or almost the second in a row, as many steals, but able to save it, and Garner able to save it there for Sheridan with a 3, and then one last basket for the Blackhawks before the end of the half.
Another drive. If you're Clinton Prairie, you can't be letting people drive it from 25 feet away all the way to the rim without a little more resistance than that.
See Clinton Prairie back on the floor to get warmed up. Garner mentioned at 11, shortchanged her 1 basket. She had 13 in that first half for the Blackhawks. We'll step aside and come back with the second half underway here from Clinton Prairie High School.
Meet Henry. Henry is hip. Henry loves the new Mintel TV streaming app. And check out Helen. With features like Cloud DVR, Restart, and Look Back TV, Helen never misses her favorite shows. And this is Bob. Bob can't contain his excitement for the new Mintel TV streaming app. Bob is proving that you actually can teach an old dog new tricks. What do you say, Bob? Does the Mintel TV app get a thumbs up? All right, Bobby-o. Mintel TV, the next generation of awesome, upgrade today. The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Second half adjustments presented by JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. 1-point lead, Bill, for Sheridan here at the break over Clinton Prairie.
Well, I think that the keys haven't changed very much. Most of the transition that we've seen in the first half was fueled off of turnovers, right? So for both teams. And they both need to kind of shore that up a little bit, and that's going to be the difference, is the turnover differential. We talked about the extra possession stat and the offensive rebounding stat. When you combine those two things, that tells you how many extra cracks you get at the basket. And I think the team that gets the ball up on the rim the most in the second half is going to end up winning this basketball game.
We talked about the turnover issues for Sheridan, particularly in that second quarter when they could have really stretched their lead out. I think the other problem with their turnovers all seem to be north of the free throw line, so then it led to easy breakouts there for the athletic Clinton Prairie folks.
Right, exactly. And it's happened both ways. The difference for Sheridan is they're turning them over in the backcourt, right, with their pressure, and they're a little closer to scoring when they are able to turn them over. And here they are, they're up in them to start the half again.
Same type of pressure we've seen from Sheridan here to start as Clinton Prairie with the first possession, down by 1. Their biggest first half lead was 4 points. Grant sandwiched between 2 defenders, and shot was altered there, and it's picked up by Garner on the miss. Starters back on the floor here for both teams. In the paint, Timmy right in front for an easy one.
Well, I would be really shocked, and they've got to start coming to meet these passes against this pressure. You can see the Sheridan people, the Sheridan girls just knifing in the passing lanes, while the Clinton Prairie kids are just kind of backing away from the pass. That was a nice little wrinkle by Sheridan, and that looked like a halftime adjustment maybe against the zone. We'll see if they go to that again the next time.
Grant at the sticks here for Clinton Prairie. Sheridan's biggest lead in the first half was 6. Coleman attacks, deals it off to Kaser. Perez around the Lily Coleman screen. Grant spots for a tying 3 in the corner, short. And off the ground, picked up by Marcus. Sheridan end-to-end, Marcus into contact. No whistle, missed, picked up by Garner. Out for a 3 from Olivia Long. That's an air ball, weak side rebound Marcus. Another crack at it here for Sheridan. They'll get another attempt as Garner picks up the miss. And it hit every part of the rim, but it didn't fall.
Well, they came up empty, but it's 4 extra cracks at it right there, and eventually that's going to bite you.
Grant, the point guard, surveying here for Clinton Prairie in the half court. Pass deflected, and that'll allow Clara Coleman to go back and pick it up for CP. Grant attacks, and she gets called for the travel. Good job by Mackenzie Terry, standing her ground right there in the lane.
Well, she's got her head down, and she's going every time, whether she's got a lane or not. So she's, that's what we talked about earlier. She's just got to figure out what's a good choice and what's a bad choice. Mm-hmm. And she's had 2 drives to start the half that maybe weren't the best decisions that she's made all night, and they've ended up in turnovers.
Defense here for Clinton Prairie, pressing out farther in the zone. Here, Bill, out to that sideline. What do you like most about that, forcing the turnover right there?
Well, I think that was self-inflicted. I'm not sure it was the zone that did it. I think it was just a maybe lack of concentration that turned that one over. That's a tough place for her to pick it up right there. Got lucky.
Clara Coleman throws it back to Kaser, deflected out. Madison German Potter quickly off of the CP bench.
But both teams, Rick, are trying to be aggressive and trying to pressure. And I think from an offensive standpoint, that means, hey, if you're not coming to meet every pass, somebody's going to get in the way. Somebody's going to get a hand on it. And that is just an offensive fundamental that kids have to figure out. You have to be a great receiver of the basketball, you've got to be stepping to the pass every single time.
Inbound violation there against Clinton Prairie, and they had been flirting with that a couple of different times back in the opening half. It comes back to bite them here as we approach the halfway point of the third.
Well, I didn't see it, and this is what you were talking about. They've changed the zone. So they're out in a 1-3-1 now that they were in more of a 3-2, kind of the middle person dropping back. Looks a little more extended to me. Well, now they're back with what they were doing in the first half.
Try to find the soft spot there is Timmy, and she floats in a mid-range jumper.
That's the second time since halftime that Sheridan's been able to enter that ball right to the elbow and put a lot of pressure on the Clinton Prairie defense.
Coleman to Coleman. Lily found Clara, who couldn't make it drop. And fought for and in a compromised position. Sadie Timmy had the possession but was standing over one of her opponents and couldn't move, or she'd been called for a travel. It was an interesting spot.
I was waiting for a call, and I'm not sure what it was going to be, and thankfully they called a timeout to let the officials off the hook right there.
Sheridan with a 30-second timeout. At Davis Comfort Solutions, we understand that your comfort is important. That's why our team of highly experienced technicians will strive to be your go-to when it comes to your home, shop, or business's heating and cooling needs. For more info on financing and special offers, visit us online at daviscomfortsolutions.com. So that leaves Sheridan with just 2 timeouts left, both fulls. 3 timeouts left here for Clinton Prairie. Still no points. 3 minutes and a second into our third quarter here for the Gophers as they have to drop back on the defensive end. Garner with 13 all back in the first half to lead all scorers.
That smells like a 1-3-1 to me. We'll see if they drop back into something else.
Nice pass to the corner. Long's 3 off the iron. And Madison German Potter had her arms sandwiched along with Lily Marcus, but able to get a held ball there, and it stays through with Sheridan. But good effort there from German Potter.
They might want to stop cutting until the inbounder has the basketball. Kind of gave the play away.
You could hear head coach Jadlyn Bradshaw yelling a different play after she had realized the same thing. Coach like, oh no, our play has been running. The ball still is in the referee's hand.
Well, sometimes they'll key the inbound like on a ball slap. I used to do it. We wouldn't slap. We'd want to go quicker than that, so we'd do it on the handoff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could catch some people napping, but you don't want to do it when the official's still holding the basketball.
Wrong guy with the ball. Mackenzie Terry leans in, muscles it in for an and one opportunity.
Well, she was able to just step right in there and receive it and take the contact and finish that one off. It's pretty good finish right there by Mackenzie.
You see the sleeve on her left arm, missed all of last year with a torn labrum. And Coach Bradshaw said they were extremely happy to get her back in the fold this year for her senior year. Foul there on Lucy Marcus. More backcourt pressure here from the Blackhawks. Kaser's time dwindling, and Garner able to deflect it out of bounds. Still just 2 players back here for Clinton Prairie. You're surprised they haven't started having a third one kind of start sprinting in or flashing?
Well, yeah, well, you can see her. She's coming, but she's coming a long way, and she's coming a little bit late. I think that they might be better off not screening because they haven't been able to figure out how to handle the switches, and the switch has gotten them into a little bit of trouble.
Kaser with a big-time 3 as she just chucks her defender away who bounced off of her. And there's the first points of the third quarter, almost halfway home. Kaser with 14 on her third made 3 in a row.
Well, she's kind of got it going from the three-point line. I think that, and they had some success with that middle ball screen in the first half to kind of free her up in the corner. Might not be a bad idea to go back to that a little bit.
Kaser had the miss, but then almost lost it into the Sheridan bench. CP in the zone defense. They floated over to the backside, and bumped on the take was Marcus. If that's on Lily Coleman, that's number 3 on her. and it will be. Tired of unsightly tree stumps ruining your yard? Let us take care of it. We've got the equipment and experience to get the job done right. We offer 3 tiers of service that will rejuvenate your yard, all at a competitive, budget-friendly rates. Call 765-242-9523 today for a free estimate. JXN Stump Solutions, rooted in service, driven to remove. Marcus splits the pair. Cummins had the rebound, now dives on it. And the possession arrow. We'll send it, we'll keep it with the Gophers.
So you can see there's an up screen coming and a switch, and it's just very difficult for them to inbound the ball right there.
Grant almost ran into Garner, trying to get a little bit of breathing space, and now has it. Kaser rips, thought about stepping into a 3. Good closeout from Marcus. And a reach and foul whistled here against Mackenzie Terry.
Yeah, she went right over her shoulder right there.
Number 1 on her, number 2 on Sheridan here in the quarter.
Now here's the opposite for Clinton Prairie. They are not ready to run their out-of-bounds play, and the inbounder already had the basketball. Not sure what that call was right there. What was it?
It didn't see it, but it went against Kenley Cummins, her first. Maybe I was going to say a moving screen, but that can't be it because,
I don't know.
Shot was missed. A quick one and done there for Sheridan. As Perez has it here for Clinton Prairie. They've been held to just 3 points. That was the Kaser 3 ball a few moments ago. Cummins rips, draws 2, splits the defense. Grant knifes her way in, gets bumped, all kinds of contact, threw it off the bottom of the rim, got her own miss, and then gets tackled and now is down on the other end. 2-on-1 for Sheridan. Pass was kicked. And a hard foul there, or hard fall, I should say, for Emma Grant on the other end.
Well, Emma does not see any obstacles to her grabbing the basketball. So she's going through people, hitting the deck. She is all over the place when that ball goes loose. And I think she took a couple of bumps when she went down there.
Madison German Potter's going to enter here for Grant. Tonight's game presented by the Frankfort Eagles, Post 976, serving our community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, the Frankfort Eagles offer something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, please visit FOE.com or stop by 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. And Emma Grant, the injured player for Clinton Prairie after taking a hard fall driving to the rim.
Well, you hope she's going to be okay. Couldn't really tell from here what happened or how bad it was. But they will, if she's out for an extended period of time here, they're gonna miss the juice that she's bringing to the floor.
Garner, catch and shoot 3 doesn't go. Marcus had her shot blocked by Kaser, and the quick rebound by Perez. Double team to the back, able to get that pass through to Kaser somehow. And Kaser gets called for a carry right in front of the official. Seven to 3, the advantage for Sheridan here in this third quarter. Timmy from the elbow. Garner being pestered by Kaser. Thrown into traffic. Terry fell down. Kaser tried to rip it away. A held ball. Possession error keeps it here with Sheridan, but that was narrowly another turnover by Sheridan.
What I think the solution that Sheridan has come up with to this zone is they're putting people on both elbows and trying to get it in, and then when they do get it in, they're going to dive the other person to the rim and put a lot of pressure on him that way. There's the second one.
Timmy bounce out, mid-range jumper, Marcus, swish.
Good inside-out pass right there. Good offense.
Marcus up to 9 points here for the Blackhawks. Clinton Prairie able to break the press. Cummins able to get away from the defender, threw it up too strong off the glass. Timmy to the front court, backs it out. Garner unafraid to fire from three, and she bangs in another one. Her fourth three tonight.
Well, you got to identify. I think by the time she's made 4, you better identify her and make her put the basketball on the floor, because she's really hurting them with the 3-ball right now.
16 for Brielle Garner, her first scoring here of the second half. She's 4 of 7 from three-point range. We mentioned she comes in at 30% from beyond the arc, averages just about 3 threes per ball game, but she has been really finding her rhythm, and she's been unafraid to let them fly.
Well, I think that's exactly what these kids on both teams should be doing. If they have a chance to get it on the rim before they turn it over, I think that's exactly what they ought to be doing, and Sheridan doing a much better job of that here in the second half. Couple passes, you got to look, let's go ahead and shoot it and try to go get it.
How important is that, trying to build that confidence with all of your young players, whether it's a young player that's young by age or young by experience?
Well, you'd like to go out there and think that kids are going to be able to pass and cut and move and all those kinds of things. But and eventually, you hope they can. But if too many passes and too much cutting is resulting in turnovers, you better come up with a different solution. Mm-hmm. And I think that you just can't pass up shooting opportunities. You got to go ahead and let it fly. And I'm sorry, but that comes from the coach. He's got to whoever the coach is, it's got to make the players go, hey, it's okay, let her rip.
Sheridan's fans wanted a carrying violation against Madison Sherman Potter, or a double team, and then her pocket picked by Brielle Garner. Garner throws in the traffic. Terry rips it down. As we dip below a minute to go here in the third, Sheridan with their first double-figure lead of the night.
There's that elbow catch again, and they're playing inside out off of that, and it's been very effective so far.
Kaser all over Timmy. Garner almost turns it over as Kaser right there on her hip. Deflected it out of bounds. It keeps it here with Sheridan. Timmy tries to take Cummins at the rack, and she gets called for the block.
Well, that was a tough one right there with 32 seconds to go. A little bit of a touch foul on the drive, put her on the line, down 10. That's a tough one.
Fifth one of the half against the Gophers puts Sheridan into the bonus. First free throws of the night for anyone from Sheridan, and Timmy steps up and connects on the first one. Timmy at 65% on the year, but dating back to that win against Western Boone on Tuesday, she's made 6 out of her last 6. Clock is not started as Sheridan turns or gets the steal in the backcourt. They float it up to Timmy for another 2. So 4 in a row here for Sadie Timmy. 2 from the line and 2 from the floor.
Just a little too nonchalant handling the basketball, and Sheridan is right on your hip the entire time. So you've just got to take care of the basketball.
A 10-0 run here for Sheridan after the 3-point basket by Kaser. Brought him to within 4. Driving down the lane, Perez can't get the roll. Because we might have some gremlins in that clock. It's still sitting at 21.5 seconds, and I think we've played at least 10.
Yeah, it happens. It happens sometimes. It happens.
Sometimes you got to coax the hamster back onto the wheel, right?
Well, with Grant out of the game, she was the one who was doing the major amount of ball handling, and also the one that had the most quickness to get open initially against the press. So they've struggled a little bit since she went out, just inbounding it and handling the ball up the floor. And Sheridan's been able to turn that stuff into points.
First freebie good for Alexis Perez. And she's able to make them both. .12-point advantage here for Sheridan. Less than 10 seconds left. Cutting down the paint was Marcus. Dribbles out of a double team, angles, and can't get the roll.
Marcus kind of forcing the issue right there, able to draw the foul.
Coach Bradshaw applauded her for her strong and aggressive play, and that's something you like to see out of a freshman.
Absolutely.
She has struggled from the line here in her rookie campaign, just 5 of 10. Has 9 points here so far to lead, or second on the team for Sheridan scoring-wise tonight. Fought for in the corner and out of bounds, and with 9/10 of a second left, not a lot to do, not a lot that Clinton Prairie can do here. Kind of have to just fire it to midcourt and hope for the best.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is try to inbound it here close to your own basket and risk a steal. They've changed it to 1.4, so they got a half a tick extra here to make something happen.
So a little half breath. So Clinton Prairie's got to go the length of the floor in about a second and change. They'll just pitch it in the backcourt and let those final second and a half run off here. But a convincing third quarter for Sheridan as they outscore Clinton Prairie 16-5 in that third stanza, and they lead by 12. Heading to the fourth here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Laser Edge Turf and Excavation, we take pride in keeping your property looking its best and your projects moving forward. From expert commercial and residential mowing to lawn fertilization that keeps your grass healthy year-round, we've got your yard covered. Need more than lawn care? We also specialize in directional boring, trenching, and full excavation work. Whether it's maintaining your curb appeal or tackling big jobs underground, trust Laser Edge and Excavation to get the job done right. Let us tackle your next project. Give us a call at 670-2286.
At Wampler's Disposal and Recycling, we take pride in offering waste management for commercial and residential clients. As an industry leader, Wampler's Disposal and Recycling brings the most professional and responsive collection service in the business. Since 1948, our family-owned and operated company has provided excellent service at competitive rates. We offer container rentals as well. Our longevity in the industry is a testament to our excellent service. We serve all of Clinton, Tippecanoe, Boone, Howard, and Carroll counties. For all your waste removal needs, call Wampler Services Incorporated today. You can reach us at 765-659-3721. Visit us online at wamplerservicesinc.com.
Tonight's game presented by Laser Edge. Laser Edge Turf and Excavation keeps your property looking sharp and projects moving forward. From mowing and lawn fertilization to directional boring, trenching, and excavation, we deliver precision and reliability every time. Cutting clean, digging deep, building strong. 39-27, the lead for Sheridan here as we start our fourth quarter of play. The biggest lead for the Blackhawks was 14 in that third quarter. Still do not see Emma Grant back on the floor. She suffered an injury back at the midway point of that third quarter, so that's why you see Madison German-Potter, number 5 in white, starting things off here in the fourth quarter, and the Gophers turn it over here on the first possession.
You know, a lot of these turnovers are a result of the Sheridan pressure, and that one was no different. Clinton Prairie staying in the zone but trying to extend a little bit, it looks like.
Horny from the mid-range, off the iron and out of bounds. Case looking for help, threw it underneath Perez and intercepted here by Garner. Sheridan trying to find the first points here. The fourth, too hot. Is that one too hot from too close of a range?
Got some butterfingers on both teams right there. Ball's just slipping through their hands. Got to squeeze it, Rick. Got to squeeze it, man.
You want the ball.
You got to
need
squeeze
the ball.
it, man.
Make sure to stay tuned. We've got the second game of our girls and boys doubleheader. Sheridan and Clinton Prairie boys locking up coming up after our game here at CP. Foul against Sheridan defensively. That goes against Garner, number 2. She's leading our game in points tonight with 16 on 4 of 8 3-point shooting. Kaser pacing the Gophers with 14. Clara Coleman falls down. A whole mess of folks on the floor, and a held ball and alternating possession sends it back to Sheridan. 52 seconds in, and some sloppy play here from both teams.
We've had 3 turnovers already, and we're not even a minute old in the quarter.
German Potter sprinting from sideline to sideline, trying to cause a little havoc here against Sheridan. As Tegan Horney bluffed the shot, she shuffled her feet.
Make that 4 turnovers.
Again, Perez having to run the point here for the injured Emma Grant. Garner pokes it away. And Perez will get bailed out by a timeout here from her head coach, Cale Morris, as that backcourt clock was getting closer and closer to being a violation. Healthy Communities of Clinton County offers free navigation services for all pregnant women. A licensed nurse is available to help you with free pregnancy tests and prenatal vitamins, insurance assistance, prenatal appointment assistance, smoking or vaping cessation, breastfeeding, labor, delivery, safe sleep, car seat, and newborn care education. Call Libby at 765-659-6063 for more information. That timeout leaves Clinton Prairie with 1-2 left here for Sheridan as you get a look at Sheridan head coach Jadlyn Bradshaw, who had the honor of being the Grand Marshal for the Sheridan 4th of July parade this past summer. Said she got to ride in the car with her daughter, who was about to be 4 at the time. She said her daughter loved to throw out candy and the foam basketballs to people that she knew. She didn't like to throw them out to people she didn't know.
Anybody.
Not just anybody.
Not just anybody gets the foam basketballs.
No, she was very selective.
Yeah, because there's only so many of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
She knew the deal. She knew.
You got to be judicious. What kind of car did she say?
Didn't say it was a car. I did ask her if she and her daughter practiced the Miss America wave that you do in the pageants. She said yes. We had a practice of that about a night or two before to try to get that down. And she said it was really cool to see a parade from a different point of view. And I thought, you know what, I've only seen a parade from the person getting candy thrown at them on the side. And
some beads.
Yeah. She said it was a very big honor. The members of the Lions Club were the ones that nominated her for it, and the announcer for their home games on the PA system at Sheridan is the one that called her and asked her if she'd be interested in being the 4th of July parade Grand Marshal.
Well, as good a year as they had last year, you know, who else?
That's right, 25-2, semi-state appearance. Back-to-back years.
If you're not going to Grand Marshal after that, when are you going to Grand Marshal, man?
Yeah.
Another turnover there for Clinton Prairie against the press.
CP sticking in that zone. Attacking here is Grant, slicing, and an off-balance shot drops for Marcus.
That's a pretty good play there by the freshman. Step through, little floater.
She's got 11, normally averages just 3 points per ball game, so a big night here for Marcus. Kaser for three, and that's a picture-perfect triple for Emmy Kaser.
Well, when she has her feet set and has a little bit of time, she's been really good from out there. They've got to figure out a way to get her a few more looks.
She's made 4 in a row from three-point range, and a high pass is deflected out off of a leaping Clara Coleman. Sheridan will retain possession. And that was kind of the theme we heard from Coach Morris of Clinton Prairie about the team with slow starts. But he said, same thing with Kaser. Kind of once she gets going, she is on fire. And they're trying to get both her and the team, trying to get those early starts, those starts to get better early on.
Well, I felt like their start wasn't bad tonight. You know, I thought they got it going. They just had these little spurts where a little bit of a lack of attentiveness against the pressure, and you saw it there again, just turning it over for no real good reason. And that's what you're going to get with a young team. And I think Sheridan, you know, that was their game plan. You know, we got to get after these young kids and take advantage of the inexperience and see if we can generate some offense with our defense. And they've been very successful with that, especially here in the second half.
Coach Bradshaw said she's wanted her team to hang their hat on hard work, and she said we've been getting really close to having 32 minutes of hard work throughout an entire game. She said the closest they've been was Tuesday against Western. They've tried to add more to that here tonight at Clinton Prairie. Marcus pressured out near midcourt. Pass into the middle of the zone. Timmy trying to find space that was blocked. Terry has the miss, and Kaser steps in front of the passing lane and intercepts here for CP. Kaser puts it on the deck and got bumped on her way to the rim by either Timmy or Horney.
That's a good aggressive play. There's been a lot of times where she's picked up her dribble in bad spots, and this time she kept it alive and just made a good physical drive.
Garner poked it away. Cummins able to wrap it up. And the held ball keeps it here with the Gophers.
Got to be a little more urgency for the Gophers getting into their spots because, again, they're not really ready to run their out-of-bounds stuff.
Perez threw into traffic, and this time the alternating possession with Cummins tied up. We'll send it back to Sheridan.
That might have been an ill-advised place to put that basketball, right between two Sheridan defenders.
Trying to go cross-court with the pass was Sheridan, deflected and intercepted by German Potter. Perez looking to attack. Madison German Potter had a three in the first half. Free throw line Cummins off the glass. Almost kicked out of bounds. Timmy saves it and then threw it off of Kaser's foot. Healthy Communities, the Willow Creek Barn. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's Best of Weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Halfway home here in the fourth, Clinton Prairie trying to dig out of this 13-point hole. They've trailed by as many as 14 here tonight. Kaser from the elbow. Couldn't dial it in and picked up off the floor by Garner. Brielle's cousin Kenzie, the leading scorer last year for Clinton Prairie, now playing up at Ferris State. Out to a Marcus three-point try. Short and into the arms of Perez. German Potter steps into a three. Off target to the left. El Coleman tried to save it, but right into the hands of the waiting Brielle Garner. Nice find, and up off the glass, Tegan Horney for two.
Plenty of time to get back, but just not back and not ready when Sheridan got in the attack zone. Both teams look a little tired to me right now, look a little winded.
Clinton Prairie played on Tuesday on this floor against Lebanon. Sheridan has had over a week off, played last Tuesday against Western Boone. Subs coming in here for both teams. Tonight's game presented by the South Fork Restaurant. Dine in or carry out. The South Fork Restaurant is known for daily lunch and dinner specials, fresh, never frozen whole catfish, hand-battered tenderloins that are as big as your head, and award-winning onion rings. The kitchen is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come join us at 105 South Glick Street in Mulberry, Indiana, or visit southforkpub.com for our latest menu options. And we know the tenderloins are as big as your head because our director Elijah had one, and it was as big as his head tonight.
It might have been slightly bigger than his head.
He still hasn't finished it. He's saving it for our men's game. He's just slowly gnawing on it as the night wears on. Stolen here by Brielle Garner. Kaser challenged. Missing the shot was Garner. And Kaser had the rebound. What a held ball and possession arrow to CP.
Well, you can just tell the Gophers have had a lot of trouble here handling the basketball since Grant's gone to the bench. They miss her quickness and ball handling, and they've tried to do it by committee. They've had a few different people doing the main ball handling chores and haven't really settled on anything.
As Coach mentioned, Emma Grant went down with an injury about midway through the third quarter. Stepped through, and off the banker is Olivia Long. It's been a different looking ball club here for Clinton Prairie without their spark plug at the point guard spot. Coleman on the baseline and gets called for the double dribble. Pressure defense coming in there from Mara Fawcett. Third different defense we've seen out of Clinton Prairie tonight. They've been really pressuring back out towards midcourt here.
Well, it's all a variation on this 3-2, but sometimes they've got it extended. Sometimes they're packed in a little bit.
What are the differences from that when you're trying to teach a young team the principles of a 3-2, but then you have some kind of variations to it?
Well, you can tell that there's not clarity on their assignments. So, anytime you're in a zone and you've got two defenders standing shoulder to shoulder, there's something wrong.
Too close.
Right, and that's been going on a lot with them, and that's just going to leave a lot of space on the floor for Sheridan to attack from. So they'll get that stuff figured out as time goes on. And a big part of it is communicating, right? So, who's on the basketball. If you can identify who's going to be on the basketball, then it's easier for the other people to figure out what their assignments are. You can see Sheridan's kind of letting the air out of it right here. Yeah. And looks like Clinton Prairie is going to let them do it.
No shot clock in Indiana high school basketball, so the Blackhawks of Sheridan can burn out the final minute of this contest here tonight. As Sheridan will win back-to-back games, their fourth out of their last 5. Clinton Prairie drops their 7th in a row to start the season. We'll take a break, come back, and get on to our post-game show next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
The Willow Creek Barn has been voted the best of weddings on the knot for 4 years running. The Willow Creek Barn has earned its reputation for a reason. With breathtaking grounds, a stunning barn, and a staff that goes above and beyond, making sure that every detail is perfect, your wedding day will be seamless, joyful, and unforgettable. From the first look to the last dance, your happily ever after starts here. To book your dream wedding, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Sheridan uses a 25-8 margin in the second half to take a 1-point halftime lead and win tonight by 17, 47-30 over Clinton Prairie. Welcome into the post-game show presented by the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. And it was just too much Sheridan there in that second half for the young Clinton Prairie bunch to try to come back from that 1-point halftime deficit.
Well, ultimately, the pressure really got to them in the full court and even in the half court. They really had difficulty handling the basketball, and Sheridan was able to turn that into pretty good offense over the course of the evening. So I think the good news for the Gophers was, Coach Morris was worried about the start. Start was pretty good. Mm-hmm. It was the middle and the finish that wasn't exactly what you'd like to have. So, they got some positives I think they can pull from this game. They've got to become more positive decision makers and ball handlers, and those are the things that come with experience.
Player of the game tonight is presented by the Frankfort Eagles, post 976, and it's the junior guard for Sheridan, Bree L. Garner, who finished with a team-high 16 points. She was 4 of 9 from three-point range. She had 13 of her points there in the first half.
Well, she was really good and did a great job of handling the basketball for them in the second half. Scored it for them in the first half, and then really kind of controlled things on the other end in the second half.
Other double-figure scorers for Sheridan tonight was Lucy Marcus with 13 other scores for the Blackhawks, 8 for Sadie Timmy, 2 for Mara Fawcett, 2 for Tegan Horney, 4 for Mackenzie Terry, and 15 for Olivia Long. Scores tonight for Clinton Prairie, game-high 17 for Emmy Kaser, and 4 for Emma Grant before she went down with that injury, 2 for Clara Coleman, 4 for Alexis Perez, and 3 for Madison German Parter. You see the members of the Clinton Prairie boys basketball team, the state runners-up last year in Class A, receiving some recognition before their home opener tonight against Sheridan, and that will come up next here on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game has been brought to you in parts by Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first. Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. Mulberry Telecommunications, your local hometown fiber provider. The Frankfort Eagles, post 976, people helping people, and the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. For our entire crew, headed up by director Elijah Mash, graphics was by Sam Waugh, camera operator tonight Tony Stewart. For our analyst, the coach Bill Finland, I'm Rick Johnston, saying so long for now from Clinton Prairie High School. We're back shortly for the boys' side of the doubleheader as Sheridan locks up with Clinton Prairie. This has been a presentation of Indiana High School girls basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit Mintel.